Hey, what's going on, guys? So people have been asking me today, where's my review of Venom, right? I went and saw it last night. People want to know what I think of it. Well, it's over on $3 Reviews now. I decided to separate the news and reviews and now make $3 Reviews its own channel. Be sure to check it out. The link for $3 Reviews is in the video description. Thank you guys very much, and I'll talk to you soon. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and this isn't really so much a trailer reaction, but more of just kind of a discussion about the Aquaman extended trailer that just dropped today, the 5-minute and 17-second long extended preview. Most trailers, as we know, are 2.5 minutes. This is double that. And I'm not going to lie, at first I was a little bit like, what the fuck are they doing? Why in God's name is Warner Brothers showing off so much content? And then it dawned on me, or it came to me. This is what they do. This is what Warner Brothers always does. They did this with Man of Steel, where there was like 13 trailers. They did it with Batman v Superman. They did it with The Man from U.N.C.L.E. They really did. They released a 5-minute sizzle reel during Comic-Con 2015 that I thought showed everything in the movie, which then prompted me to not go see the movie because I thought I saw all the good stuff. And then when I finally got around to seeing it, I realized, oh, wait, there was so much more good stuff in this movie. I really wish they wouldn't have done that. A trailer is meant to be a tease, right? The trailer is like the garnish on the, on the dish that is the entire project. Warner's doesn't understand that, as evidenced here by almost showing this entire scene playing out where they're trying to basically Fifth Element this shit, which, by the way, looks really cool. I'm not complaining about anything I've seen in this trailer. But what I like about it, though, is that it does give us, I guess you could say, a broader understanding of what to expect from the Aquaman movie, right? I mean, it's been joked about for years. How in God's name would Warner Brothers do this? Oh, by the way, this is the Fifth Element right there. 100% Fifth Element. So James Wan, you ripped off Luc Besson. Maybe Luc Besson can get back some of the money he lost by ripping off John Carpenter. Who knows? But we're in a different world now. Anyway, the point is, I do like that line there about he could have just peed on it. But anyway, Warner's is what I believe there was never a good way to make an Aquaman movie in a mind's eye, right? Like on paper, stuff could look pretty cool, but we've always kind of just assumed that it was going to be this meh sort of thing, right? And then, of course, there was Entourage from 2003, that they did the whole Aquaman storyline with James Cameron directing the movie, and the movie actually beating out Spider-Man's opening numbers, which was a significant thing because in 2002, Spider-Man's first weekend numbers actually were the biggest of all time, 114 million, if I recall correctly, or 112 million, somewhere in there. But that was the biggest of all time. Now that's nothing. Right? That's not nothing, but it's not, as celebrated as it used to be. But, anyway, the movie itself looks like a great deal of fun. And it looks like James Wan bringing Marvel to the DCEU, right? It wasn't until, this honestly all comes from James Gunn, in my opinion. This all comes from James Gunn. James Gunn brought color, right? He brought a color palette to the MCU. He really did. Before Guardians of the Galaxy, in the 6 years leading up to that, how many movies were kind of just droll a little bit? The color palette wasn't really there. We've seen this also in Batman v Superman and Man of Steel and Wonder Woman and Justice League and Suicide Squad. Outside of the trailers for Suicide Squad, can you recall any type of real colorful situations? Here, just look at freaking Mara's hair. The Ariel wig is insanely red. And also Black Manta looks pretty freaking awesome. And this shot right here too, this is a continuous shot. This guy is running. It goes, this is James Wan directing and him really bringing in an Adventures of Tintin continuous shot here that just looks amazing. And, real Children of Men type stuff. And look at that. I mean, you can tell they shot the whole thing on green screen and then they're merging it all together, but still that was all one take. Well, one continuous shot, right? So to speak. But that being said, everything they tried to do, like Marvel and James Gunn and the color palette, really carried over with Taika Waititi in Thor Ragnarok, as well as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and even Avengers Infinity War had a better color palette at times. for what they were for compared to what they were 10 years ago. And this movie just looks insanely colorful, right? The reds, the blues, the purples, the neons. We're not talking Joel Schumacher levels of Batman and Robin here, right? That was pretty bad. That scene with Nicole Kidman's pretty badass too. But we're seeing a lot of color. We're seeing a lot of variances of sets as well. And it gives us this massive old school adventure vibe that takes place underwater, right? I mean, look at that right there. They're at a volcano doing this huge fight, whatever the hell, right? It just looks amazing. I know I'm kind of blabbering on about this stuff right now, but the point I'm trying to make essentially is that Aquaman is an anomaly, right? Aquaman is a massive anomaly, and one that I believe has the potential to kind of rebirth the DCEU. Now, many people out there are not going to want to think that. I've made comments about this on Twitter. People out there are going like, no, that was Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was a step forward. Wonder Woman was only a step forward in as far as that it starred Wonder Woman. But I've watched it a couple more times on home video, and I really, really like the movie, but it's a very simple film. And it's also drab and bleak. And yes, that's World War I for you. That I'm not going to argue against that. But when it comes to trying to take these movies off of the page and put them into cinema, they've got to start playing with this kind of stuff more, playing with varied backgrounds, varied color schemes. And I think that's what's going to sell this movie. It's going to be very bright, very colorful, very action-packed. And I think that's what's going to bring a lot of people in. People went to Wonder Woman because she was part of the Holy Trinity. We've seen Batman, we've seen Superman. This was the first Wonder Woman movie. People are going to come to Aquaman because, for one, there's going to be curiosity. Curiosity is going to be a pretty big part of that. Curiosity is going to make people really, 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 really want to see what this whole thing's about. And by showing this extended preview, it's going to give people an idea as to the action, as to the humor, as to the chemistry between Mera and Arthur, and also his past and what he's battling against, and again, dealing with parental issues, so on and so forth. And I have a feeling that it's going to end up really, really, really hitting with audiences. Now, this movie is up against Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which after seeing the extended cut on, or the extended preview on Venom last night, I'm telling you, that looks amazing. That's going to be big. It's also going to be up against Mary Poppins. This is opening right before Christmas. But honestly, after seeing this, even after seeing the extended preview of Spider-Man, I'm more excited to see Aquaman, because I think when it comes to Spider-Man and Mary Poppins, ultimately, I know what I'm in for, right? I know what I'm in for. This movie, I can kind of tell what I'm in for, but I'm going to look at it the same way I looked at Fast and Furious 7. When Justin Lin left after doing 3, 4, 5, and 6, and they gave it to James Wan, a guy who's been known for doing Saw and the Conjuring films, and he brought number 7 and he knocked it out of the park, turning it into $1 billion movie. And then he goes over to do Aquaman. I think he's bringing it. He is giving us this film that is going to break the DCEU mold, more so than Wonder Woman, more so than Justice League or anything else coming down the pipeline. And this is going to set the tone, I think, for what we should expect from the future. Now, here's the problem with it, though. The big problem, essentially, is that this is not this is not a Walter Hamada film. All right, this is, I forget who was running it at the time. I think Jeff Johns was heavily involved in this. And as a result, we're going to see a lot. I think what we're seeing is a lot of his work, and James Wan, obviously, but his producing work. Now that it's coming into Walter Hamada, the next batch of films like Birds of Prey, we start shooting early next year, is going to end up then being what we see next. And so I don't know if this is going to continue or if this is going to go by the wayside, because honestly, Shazam, Wonder Woman 2, and this one are all, post Zack Snyder. So we're going to see what these bring to the table. And now it's got another chef in the kitchen. So who knows what's going to happen there? I have no freaking idea. All I know overall is that I'm excited, that I love the color schemes. This action sequence, again, I'm bringing it back up again. It's awesome. It's great stuff. I can't wait to see how the movie plays out, like Indiana Jones of the water, because kind of what it feels like a little bit. But they're also not straying away from the action. They're not moving away from bringing this to a globetrotting adventure, really. And they're not afraid to just kind of throw everything at the wall to see what sticks. And as a person who's been watching comic book movies for decades now, like literally 3 decades, You know, starting with Batman 1988, although I'm pretty sure Howard the Duck came out first. What, that was 1987? But anyway, but seeing these movies for 30 years and watching them evolve and watching them grow, a lot of it does start to seem relatively stale. Marvel's been able to make it work because of the consistent storyline, right? They have been. They've been able to sell you on 20 films, and they're going to sell you on 20 more because that's the plan that they have. DC has been very hit or miss. And this one to me looks like an absolute hit because they're trying something different. They're emulating Marvel in a way that is similar and yet distinct. And I think look at this battle here. I just want to see this battle play out in like IMAX. All right, I want to see this in IMAX, specifically for the color, specifically for the design, because I know what I'm in for, I think, with this film, and I'm excited to see what comes next from it. Anyway, I just wanted to prattle on about this for a few. What do you guys think about it? Do you think that this is going to be good? Do you think this is going to be bad? Do you think that this is going to be another miss for the DCEU, or does this have the opportunity to really kind of reinvent things and reinvent where things are going to go? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Let me know down in the comments. If you made it this far in the video, type Aquaman in the chat so I know. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.